per se. I grew up kind of being forced to go to church. My grandmother was probably the only real believer I ever knew. And as I got old enough to say I don't want to go and to stop going, I did. And then later on in life, just bumped my head a few times and eventually realized how far I had gotten from God, man, just through trying to get out there and hustle a few different ways, and still thinking that that I had a cool relationship with God, just because he I used to go to church, and sometimes I still went to church, and I thought it was all good, man. And he just really opened my eyes to how far I had gotten from him, and how easy it became for me to do the things that displeased him without feeling any type of way about it.
And then kind of a similar question. When did you first find out that Christian hip hop was a genre? A lot of people don't really know about it really at all. How did you come across that type of music?
Um, I think I heard of gospel gangsters like way back in the day. I used to see them like on some different like bus stop ads and stuff like that. See like posters and stuff like that. So I didn't know much about it. I knew that there were gospel rappers out there somewhere. I didn't really know what it was like that until I kind of, got in the game myself. I didn't know that there was websites. I didn't know that, what I'm saying,
Hmm.
none of that stuff.
Yeah. Um, and you're inside the Christian hip hop genre. You're one of the more, I think, outspoken rappers. You're very to the point, I think, about with your faith. You don't try and dilute it or any way. You're just very straightforward with your listeners. Do you feel that that needs to be seen more within the genre? Do you feel like there's not enough just very direct and open about your relationship with Christ, and people might be trying to dilute it so it has more of a wide reach and can kind of dip into the mainstream audience?
Um, I mean, I would like to see it, but I can't sit here and say that the way I do it is the only and true way
Yeah.
for it to be done. So, who knows? Like, I think we all have the same calling to preach the gospel, but we all have different ways that we might do it. And you want to be careful with saying somebody is absolutely wrong, because somebody might be, I don't know, somebody might do what you call diluting it, and get a way wider audience and be able to pack a building with 30,000 people and then give the gospel in that building, but they didn't really do it on the song like you
Hmm.
liked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I do it how I do it, and let everybody else do it how they do it.
And over the years, you've done a handful of remixes to popular songs such as Same Love, Summer 16, Holy Grail. How do you feel about the current state of mainstream hip hop and kind of the emergence of trap rap or mumble rap or whatever you want to call it, kind of being now the forefront of popular music on mostly radio?
Um, I mean, I feel like it's always been bad. It's always been negative. It kind of just gets worse as time progresses, as the world gets worse. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? It's not like just hip hop's getting bad, but the world's becoming a nicer place to live in. The world gets worse and more wicked. The music, in turn, is reflecting that as well. And I think all of us in our childhood, the music that we liked, it was still wicked. We just didn't know. And sometimes even the people who listen to it now and it's their childhood music, they don't know. They don't see it like
Hmm.
that. And it took the Lord to open my eyes. So I'm just trying to help go and do the same for others.
And one of those remixes that you did, you made a response to Macklemore's song "Same Love." It got a lot of attention when it released, and there are many people who supported it and loved the song, but there were a few that had some harsh criticism for you. How do you deal if there's any backlash on songs that you release?
At this point, I'm kind of used to it, and you can never get too used to it. You know what I'm saying? You hate to see your name be slandered. You hate to be lied on. You hate to be attacked, and especially by people who claim to be believers like you. So, I just pray through it, keep my loved ones, my family close, and shoot, when I'm with them, the other
Mm.
people don't exist. It's just hard it's harder than it seems to block it out, though.
Yeah. And you touched on how rap kind of gets more negative as the world gets more negative. One of the larger issues, specifically in America today, is police brutality and any racial motivations behind it. And recently there was the Tulsa shooting that has everyone in shock. As a normal person like myself and maybe some listeners who don't have a platform like you do to really get your voice heard over a wide audience, what advice do you have to the average person to help solve that problem who might not have as large a voice as others?
Man, working in your circles. If you don't have the platform, you have the ear of people who love you and care about you, and I can pretty much guarantee that some of those people are saying some of the same things that I've come across. Like I've come across fellow, quote unquote believers who will tell me that, don't follow the media making this up, and the injustice. Somebody called it a myth. They said it was a myth. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
As if I haven't been black for 33 years, and all of my experience I get from the media. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like so it's there's a lot of insensitivity. There's a lot of ignorance, and the biggest problem I run across is people not wanting to hear it
Mm.
and acknowledge it. So it's really just helping those around you acknowledge it, because they'll probably say the same thing. Like, I don't think it's because, even with the new one in Tulsa, from up in the helicopter, they're talking about, oh, he's a bad dude. I can
Yeah.
tell. Like, how do you look like a bad dude from a helicopter? Do I
Yeah.
look like one from a helicopter? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, but then if we say that he was profiled and it might have been because he's black, they're like, oh no, why do you always think that's the reason, bruh? It is what it is.
Hmm.
So it's really, man, just helping acknowledge acknowledge it, bring acknowledgement in your own circles if you don't have that platform.
You and your label, Got Over Money, you've been putting out music for about 8 years now, I think. What's it been like to watch the GOM movement grow and gain such a large audience?
Um, I don't know, man. I just take it day by day, and God gives the increase as He gives it. And I'm just as humbled as I was in the beginning. Like it's always felt big to me.
Hmm.
So I mean, I don't know. I just take it one day at a time. Watch God expand it, and just try to be faithful, um, so that I can handle whatever platform He puts me on, or that I can handle wherever He takes me. So it's definitely a blessing to be in, but you would probably be surprised at how much different it probably looks from the outside than from the inside. To me, it's life.
Mm.
It's really regular.
And a few weeks ago, you announced that your next album, it's going to be titled Crosses and Crowns. And since then, you've released two singles for it. What's the creative process been like for you when you've been writing this music?
The creative process, it's trying to fit music in between family life. It's
Mm.
a lot of the material. Of course, it comes from real life situations. So if you hear a song like, there's two off the top of my head. There's two records that I wrote on the album that I cried when I wrote.
Mm.
So a lot of it's based on things that I either see, that I go through, that I'm living in when I write it, and it's really impossible to write from another place at that time. So, you got your ups and downs. That's why it's called Crowns and Crosses. You have your triumphant moments, and then you have your struggles, and they're both equally a part of this walk.
And can we expect anything different from you musically on this album compared to previous albums, or can we expect just another classic Bizzle album?
You can always expect the versatility. I try to fulfill every mood. Make it so that you don't have to take the album out and put something. And I think it has a definitely a more current sound.
Okay.
But we'll see. I try to keep it balanced.
And are there any collaborations that you did on the album that you're really excited for your hands to hear and listen to?
Yeah, I did a dope record with Jonathan McReynolds, who's one of my favorite singers. I got a dope record with D1 and GS. A lot of people have been waiting for me and D1 to get on the record. I have a few. I got a one with Alexis Spite, who's a gospel singer, which I think is an awesome record as well. So, and then the most the most important one is that we got a God Over Money cipher on there. So I think a lot of people are gonna love that. Just hear me and the team get on and just rip with no hooks, no nothing.
And is there?
Oh wait!
All right.
And I got a record with KB on the album as well.
Oh, I can't forget about KV.
Yeah, so.
And is there an overall theme or message that you want your listeners to pick up or learn, notice by the time they finish listening to the album?
I just want them to acknowledge, pretty much be able to acknowledge that both the struggle and like we celebrate God, we're bold, and that's part of it, the walk, you know what I'm saying, the happy moments, but you have to embrace those trials that are going to come as well, like they're both equally part of this walk. So when they come, when you experience both, don't be confused. That's what we all go through. We all have both ups and downs. It's not come to Christ and have nothing but ups. So, hopefully by the end of the record, they know that they're not alone on that roller coaster.
Mm-hmm. All right. And then for anyone who may not have heard of you before, listened to your music, where can they go to learn about you and pick up some of your music?
You can go to godovermoney.com. We have a whole bunch of music on there. Of course, we're on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, wherever you listen to music at or you buy your music. If you look up Bizzle, I'll pop up. And then on pretty much all the social networks, you can look up My Name is Bizzle, and I'll pop up.